on Sunday, January 26, 2020, typical Sunday morning, was chilling, went shopping, lazy kind of day. Me, myself was in the crib, chilling, thinking about like this week's the podcast, what I'm gonna record, what I'm gonna talk about. And the plan was, Super Bowl Sunday coming up, probably get some fellas on, get the predictions, get some picks, things like that. Early afternoon, phone starts going off, people texting me, getting messages like, yo, TMZ saying that there was a helicopter crash in Calabasas. Kobe Bryant might be, one of the victims in it. Obviously, the feeling is TMZ. Is it real? Is it true? People asking me. I'm like, I don't know. Yeah. We looking online, trying to find out. About an hour or so after that, more information starts coming out. More news outlets is confirming that, Kobe Bryant was a victim of a helicopter crash. And the mood of the day just kind of changed. You know what I'm saying? Like, the feeling was just off. I don't know how to describe it. It was just, just changed the whole feeling of the day. And me, myself, at that point, I'm like, yo, forget the podcast right now. I'm not doing it this week. I'm just like, my mind was elsewhere. You know what I'm saying? It was just somewhere else, other things on my mind at that point. In the midst of all the text messages that came through, Rel hit me up. He's like, yo, we got to do an episode this week. We got to, remember Kobe. And one of my other boys hit me up, Gene, one of the biggest Kobe fans that I know, big Laker fan at that, like still to this day. So he's like, yo, we got to do the podcast. Like, it just has to happen. So at that point, my mind just shifted to like, all right, you know what I'm saying? We got to do it. We got to represent. So Rel is here. We're going to talk about it. And then, we also got over here, Gene and his partner, Kron Joel, and they have their own podcast as well. So we linked up, Breakfast with Bros. Nice. Gene, I'm gonna kick it to you first. What was your feeling like? What was your day? How was your day going when all this happened? Like, what was going on over
there? Typical Sunday, fighting off the lateness demons to get to church on time. And gratefully, me and my family, we did make it to church. Obviously, me and Joel, we do go to the same church, and service was amazing. Joel actually preached, and there's a lot of things said in there that even made the news a little more weird. After that, as we do every day, it was like, all right, bro, I'll see you later. That's the thing you're always telling people, I'll see you later. And I'm driving. I'm about my wife. We was gonna stop at Subway's to get something to eat, because we're both, eating healthy. And Subway's is kind of like our little cheat or whatever.
Okay.
And Subway's
and allegedly, right? Good cheat. Yeah. And my sister calls me. Now, not to be funny, I do talk to my sister. We do have a great relationship. But she calls me and she's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm driving." She's like, "Did you hear about Kobe? Blah, 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 blah. Died in a helicopter crash, and I'm driving." And like, I have my sister on the phone, just like regular headset, not over the Bluetooth, but I could feel my wife looking at me. And I said, "Did you hear that?" My wife says, "Hold on," because she knows, how I am. She says, "Hold on, let me check." And man, and in the next 5 seconds, my wife, people don't know, they think that she supports the Lakers because of me. But one of the main things we had in common when we met was that she was a huge Kobe fan. And
that works.
Yeah.
Right. 6 years later, kid, marriage, it works. And she just starts crying. And then all of a sudden, my focus is like, okay, number one, I'm driving.
Right.
Number two, let me get to this destination first, and then try to process, and it went from there. It went from there. That was it's the day that we all know will come, which is death.
Right.
But when there's a tragedy with somebody that was an icon in the sport of basketball, And then post-career basketball, what he started to show himself as a dad, as a human, a man, a husband, and a mentor and teacher was even more amazing to me. And I'll let Rel or Joel go from there, because I could go on and on, but I'll wait to different points.
I think we all, I mean, I wasn't driving anything like that, but I was actually here. Got a tweet, like I'm in the Call of Duty, so follow there. So I follow a couple Twitter accounts from like Call of Duty sites, blogs, whatever. Get an alert, and they're posting like TMZ has reported that Kobe Bryant died in a helicopter crash, and just like I'm like, TMZ be on point, but sometimes they be a little sketchy. So hopefully they So hopefully they got this one wrong. I mean, you don't want anybody to have died, period. But like somebody like Kobe, you hoping, okay, like this is not real. So I hit him up. I'm like, yo, did you hear? I hit a few people up. I'm gonna tell him like, yo, don't get crazy though, because it's TMZ. I'm not sure, whatever. But then it started getting confirmed. I'm watching CNN. They're talking about it. The Lakers put up a statement. I'm like, yo, this is really happening. You know what I'm saying? Like this dude who just retired, just starting to really live his life now. Now that he got the business of the NBA done, major accomplishments, and now the second part of his life to accomplish even more. Now he's gone, leaving behind, these children, his family, and then a little more time passed, and then his daughter's on the plane with them, and I'm like this cannot be real. And I'm talking to him, we're going back and forth on text, and I'm like, you cover this, bro. I gotta be on it, man. Like, it's just like we were talking before we kind of started. If you love the game of basketball, you had to feel away yesterday. You had to feel affected. No matter what team you like, no matter what players you like for what he did for the game here, globally, what he means to players still playing now. You don't love basketball if you didn't get hit in the chest yesterday by the news that came.
It's so funny, Rel, to piggyback on your point about getting hit in the chest. We'll probably talk about this later, so I don't really want to open it up too much, but people will make you feel a sort of way for having compassion for somebody that you
don't know.
You know what I mean? And last time I checked, man, just being human, there's nothing wrong with having feelings and showing compassion for a fellow man. Yeah. I was talking to somebody earlier, and I said, no greater love does a man have other than for his brother. Now, granted, we didn't know Kobe, but from afar, that's probably the feeling, that you can have. That's and for me, that's how I felt. He's only 5 years older than me. Right. And Paul knows, whenever we spoke about Gigi, I'd be like, yeah, my niece is gonna kill. Kill when she get older. You know what I mean? And so that's a point that you said, man, getting hit in the chest. And whoever's watching this now, Words Music Dance, Breakfast with Bros, whoever's watching, just for anything, not just this tragedy, but don't ever let anybody make you feel some sort of way for showing that you're human. And having compassion is a part of being human.
In this world, we literally got to just find ways now to just quiet out the noise. People, unfortunately, are going to be what they are. We got this new weapon of mass destructions, these fingers. And, people just don't think anymore. We just, in a second, we just react, I mean, we had a great day. Church was amazing. The word was powerful. And, my brother brought me down to the office, told me to, relax a bit. And he said, any little minute that you can get and get, some rest, get you good, do that,
I forgot about that.
Yeah, he did. He actually tricked me because he knows me. He knows me because when I'm done, people are always pulling me like all over the place. He was like, yo, I got an emergency. I need you right now. He knows. When he says emergency, my reaction, I don't ask questions. It's like, black folks, right? You see people running, we don't stop to ask any questions.
We're not running from.
See one last person running, we ask the question later.
Exactly.
So then, he left. I relaxed for a little bit, and I got into some meetings, and I was sitting down, just eating, and fellowshipping, downstairs. And my brother comes over and reaches over, and he hands me his cell phone, and he's pointing at it. And I'm thinking that, he's trying to show me some tech stuff that, he's trying to get. And I see, he says, Kobe Bryant, look, bro, I just got up with the quickness, and I got up and I froze. I was like, no, And my thing, what happened yesterday is when you look at someone like Kobe Bryant, an icon, somebody that, sometimes, the celebrities, and depends on who they are, their stature, it makes you feel like this person right here, you're bigger than life. But then one way or the other, life reminds us, like yesterday, that nobody is above it. Like our life is just a vapor. But to be honest with you, me personally, Kobe always killed my teams. I mean, I hated him as a basketball player, but I loved and respect him as a person. His fight, his hunger. I mean, he'd tell you, listen, I'm about to kill you now, just so you know. Remind me of Jordan, you know what I'm saying? Jordan said, hey, I'm dropping 50 on you today, right? And, he was just, different. But what hit home for me, and, what really got me emotional, and I'm like, it just opened up some wounds, with losing my dad. And I felt like Kobe was like an uncle or something like that. You understand that I never got to meet. But what did it for me is the fact that I am a father of one little girl. I have 3 kids, but one little girl. And, bro, I can just picture, her maybe panicking, like, Daddy, like, what's going on? And I can just imagine him, like, grabbing her own, like, baby's knowing that we may not get out of this, but to try to comfort. You understand? I can't, when I think of this, you would give your life for your children, and unfortunately, the world sometimes don't give props to the Black fathers, because we see that there's lack of it. But let's be honest with you, there's a whole lot of great fathers out there.
Yes.
You understand? And to see that we lost, for a lot of us, we've lost an icon. We've lost a great basketball player, a great entrepreneur. But honestly, somebody lost their husband. Somebody lost their father and sister and child, so it's like, that's really all that matters. It's not about the basketball thing. If you got a heart, so that's why I was telling G, man, quiet that noise, man. Don't even respond. I want him to actually not even respond to people, you know what I'm saying? Because me, I live on 2 things: love the Lord and love your neighbors like you love yourself. My neighbor don't have to actually live right next to me. Everybody that I come up with is my neighbor. Anybody that's living in Los Angeles right now, they're my neighbor. Anybody that's in the world, because you never know whose kidney might save your life one day.
Yeah,
you understand? True.
That's true.
So, but it's
something that I came to the realization of yesterday was the space that I'm in. Like I said, Rel hit me up, Gene hit me up, and they like, we got to record. And I'm not used to being a journalist.
Yeah.
Someone with a platform.
Yeah.
This was people have hit me up, Super Bowl or such and such happened, sports.
Yeah.
This was the first like tragedy where I would have backed out from it, but these two, y'all was like, yo, we gotta address it.
We 2 episodes in, man. This is 3, and like you said with the podcast, we decided not to drop hours today because like I said, every Monday is Mamba Monday, but this is a different type of Mamba Monday, and I'm with you. Like we spoke about that, how you feel being in that space, and like I said to you, I said I know I don't want to, but I said how could we not?
Right.
Like being how much we
no way to skip it.
Basketball.
No way to skip it.
Yeah, and like I said, it was like the first time that a tragedy that of this size has happened since I've started doing this. So this was the point where it was like, what I'm saying, we're not gonna use his name or glorify him. We're gonna just talk to the facts. We're gonna talk about the man he was, and also the other victims involved. So I wanted to put their names out there as well, because
please do.
So obviously, Kobe, rest in peace to him. His daughter Gianna, his second daughter, he had out of 4.
Right.
I'm saying little Gigi, the one that was going,
she was going to
WNBA by storm.
Yeah, and it's funny because Rel knows I always joked about the WNBA and how they need some sort of savior, and it was like, yo, Gigi's gonna be the one.
Yeah,
savior.
Yeah.
It's sad that now that will never come to fruition. But That's when I heard her name. I was like, damn. But then, her teammate, they was going to actual games. So her teammate, Alyssa, and pardon me if I say the name wrong, Alyssa Altobelli, and her parents, John Altobelli and Keri Altobelli, were also on the plane.
That was mother and father?
Yeah. Correct. Yeah. And they had 2 more daughters as well.
Yeah.
That wasn't on the plane.
And I think a big brother as well, I believe.
Yeah.
Right. So with the family that Paul just named, they have other siblings that were not on the aircraft. So we got, obviously, we think about the entire family, but we got to think about who's going to take care of those kids too.
Correct. And then as well, on the helicopter was Christina Mauser, Sarah Chester, and Payton Chester. And the pilot,
and they look like mom and daughter.
I believe they were there as well. And the pilot, like I said, the name of the pilot was finally revealed later. Zobayan. Pardon me if I say the name wrong, but rest in peace to all of them involved. The news finally revealed that the weather conditions may have been the cause. They're still going through due diligence and all that stuff, but they waited to release the pilot's name because they didn't want to, put that out there before liability and everything was actually finalized and known.
Right.
Because Kobe fans are some diehard fans, and you just say a name without details, right? Just putting the name out there without details.
Somebody gonna get got.
Yeah, so
gotta be careful.
Kind of put it out there that the weather wasn't right, but air traffic control now they might be watching. They might need to run whoever the air traffic control workers that allowed them to take off. Because
can we backtrack real quick? Can we backtrack? Because you said it. You said it. And I just want to make it clear to everybody. You said it. RIP to all of them, to bless all their families, and we want to make sure that everybody knows that. Obviously, like we said, we're not using I don't even think in the title I'm going to put Kobe's name. It's going to be a different title, and this is what people will see. But understand that we're not talking about Kobe and Gigi as their lives are more important than the other victims.
No, not at all.
All 9 of those lives are equally important and matter. The reason why I believe we're discussing them so heavy is because they were in the public light. So for years, it is just people that we have seen and known of. Right. And these other victims are people that we just found out about. Right. But either way, please understand, everybody, please understand that all 9 of those lives and all of their families matter.
To be honest with you.
That's a great point, because I'm all across social media, as much as there's been a million posts about Kobe, you get a lot of don't forget about such and it's not really about that. I mean, I don't think anybody forgot about those. Those
you know what that sound like, bro?
Huh?
You know what that is, bro? You know what that sound like?
Yeah.
What that sound like?
Yeah.
Black Lives Matter.
Yeah, exactly.
What they say.
All lives matter.
Exactly. It's don't forget about and because we haven't said their names, to your point, we just heard these people yesterday. And again, that doesn't devalue their lives whatsoever. But it's also a connection thing. So Kobe has been a figure for over 20 years. So and when especially in your case, when you're that diehard fan, it's like losing somebody in your family. Like if one of us hears about a car accident and our best friend was in the car with a bunch of people we didn't know, our posts are gonna be centered around our best friend. God forbid, I don't want that to happen to anybody's best friend, but that's gonna be the center. Like that's who you had the connection with. So people shouldn't be taking that as a slight or whatever. But like you said, all life is precious, and they're just like there are millions of people mourning over Kobe. There may be 50 people mourning over the Altobellis. They may not. Yeah, but those people that 50, the power of that 50 is no different from the power of that million.
Right.
And it's crazy, like you said, like losing a family member, right? So after me and my wife left Subways, we're driving to my mom's house because the plan was to go. We tried it on the weekends because we moved. We try to spend time with family and loved ones when we're in the area, and it's crazy. It's just so weird to me, man. Walk in the door, my mother and my grandmother's there, and they just look and they say, they don't even say hi. They say, "We know. Are you okay?"
Right. Yeah. Cause they know.
And it was like it just, I don't know, it like hit me more because the fact that they cared to know that it could mean, obviously maybe not so much to them, but because it meant so much to me because of my love for sports and everything, that they were like, they just wanted to double check. And it was really somber, man. I had to get my mind right because I was around family. I had to take a walk. I had to think about my son. I had to be grateful for the day. I had to thank God for my wife and just all the loved ones that I still have here. And I encourage anybody else to try to do that as much as they can because, life will go on. Like we lost him as a fan, a figure, a role model. But again, like you said, there's other loved ones that really lost him as a son, a father, husband, and an actual friend.
Daughter and everything like that. So I believe the whole nation, and including the whole world, I think we hugged our loved one a little tighter. Last night. And what's sad about it though is because, and me and him, we talk about this all the time. Why does it always take a tragedy for us to be human? Right? For us to be human. There are certain people though in life, it's just what it is. Like everybody's always gonna remember where they were on 9/11. Everybody's gonna always remember where they were when Michael Jackson died. And everybody's gonna always remember where they were when Kobe Bryant passed away. It's just some people they just cut from a different cloth, man. They their legacy speaks for itself.
But you hit it on the head. I mean, death, unfortunately, is that reminder. It's the realization that it can end.
At any second.
The tombstone has 2 numbers on it. We know the first one. That second number,
we'll never know.
You never know until
you'll never know.
You're never gonna know.
Your family will. But you.
Right.
You never will.
And that's we have to remind ourselves that, unfortunately, like I said, it takes someone to pass to remind us. We got to remember, seize the day, seize the moment, value everybody in our lives, because any minute, in an instant. And one thing I want to bring up too was that, this wasn't a fluke situation. Kobe took helicopters
all the time.
It was his
every time he played in LA because he said his body was important. He could not sit in a car for 2 hours.
Right. Because LA traffic.
So every time they played in LA, my man was landing on top of the
So this was his mode of transportation. He did it on the regular. It wasn't just like, I'm never doing that. It was one of the things where he was comfortable. He was used to it. That's
why I can't stand people, man, because people just be like, why is he taking a helicopter? And I just want to be
why
like,
not?
Smack.
Why not? Reason to not take a helicopter.
Right. Why? That's like we take Uber when we don't want to drive, right?
Yeah. So why was he taking Uber? Why didn't he drive himself?
Because the helicopter
goes. It's always gonna be something. It's always gonna be something.
Right.
Bro, if I had the money, I would have a helicopter right in my area.
Yeah, right in my building, right to work. Yep.
If I have to catch a red light ticket, it's to be stopped by the police.
Exactly. You pass
I'm taking because you got to come up there to arrest me.
Exactly.
And I think people have lost the recognition of, or the definition of the word accident. He takes helicopters all the time. So just like you're looking at, well, why is he taking a helicopter? Had he not been in a helicopter, then okay, but people die on pedal bikes, they die in cars, they die in trains, they like free. You know what I'm saying? So like what does a helicopter have to do? And again, it's his helicopter. It's his helicopter that he's been in 100 times. Why is he more likely to die there than anywhere else? I mean, he has his own pilot. He does this all the time. It's a freak thing, and people, and again, how it could have been prevented, I guess, is important for when you think about other people who may take that mode of transportation and maybe this doesn't happen. But in relation to him and the tragedy, it's not really important, like all these things you could pinpoint, try to point fingers and that's a very small part of it all.
I agree, bro. I definitely agree. That to me does not matter at all.
Yeah.
The most important thing is again that we could find the lesson in this, because unfortunately there's always a lesson in everything, even when it hurts like hell. And really, man, for those people, like he said, he wasn't a Kobe fan. He was a Kobe fan, but he cheered against him because his team. But all we can hope is that all of us take lessons from him on the court, how he carried himself, the growth as a man and as a father. Because again, to go back to the helicopter, we seen the interviews. It took 15 minutes to get to where he really needed to go, and he started doing that because he missed, I believe, one of his daughter's recitals. He missed one of his. So now again, you look at the human side of it. What parent wouldn't do what they could do to get to their child's event? Because you only get so many when they're that age.
Yeah. Right.
And speaking of that too, with Gianna, he also said in another interview that she revived the love of basketball in him. After his retirement, and he stopped going to games. He
stopped watching it.
Right. He removed himself from that life. And her being a fan of Trae Young, I believe, wanted to go to see the Hawks and Lakers. And he's like, all right, let's go. And then she's into the game. She want to meet him. Then she's playing, and now he's coaching it. And like we touched on earlier, it was the second part of his life. A lot of people don't realize, he went to the league at 17
as a kid.
Man. And then did 20 years in the league. So he spent more time in the league than he had life outside of the league.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So his retirement, at that point, he was just like, I'm done. But she brought back the love of the game, and then he's coaching it, and they got that video clip of him on the sideline, and he's breaking down something. But then she
that Brooklyn Nets game, man.
Yeah, and
that was so
right
dope.
there.
That was so dope. That was so dope.
And her face,
the sentence, and he was like nodding, like So it was just like she's getting it. She's picking up on things that he's explaining. She's picking up. It was like that father-daughter moment.
She was
special, like
and to be honest, like things like that. Is really what made me hit up Paul and say we got to talk about
the human
this.
side, the human.
Because like similar to you, I wasn't a person who liked Kobe. I never rooted against him per se.
By the way, Joel, what's your team?
Huh?
What's your basketball team?
My basketball team currently?
Yeah.
Stop watching basketball.
Okay.
I was a boss. Listen, when Kobe was killing, it was the Portland Trailblazers. Y'all remember?
Yeah, so you can't. Yeah, that's rough, bro. That's rough.
But when I used to, then after that era, then I started rooting for the Boston Celtics.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm a Knicks fan, and I never.
You're a Knicks fan?
Not like Kobe because he played for the Lakers per se. Because
you're a Knicks fan?
Yeah.
Let's have a moment of silence real quick.
Yeah, I know. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah,
he's a Knicks fan, bro.
I'm not even mad, bro. We need all the moments of silence we can get, bro. Like, I'm not even mad. But to get to my point, like, I mean, a lot of like Kobe just wasn't my type of player as far as like came up a little arrogant, especially in his younger days. Came up very arrogant, a little rough to his teammates. Like I didn't like the whole thing, like when the whole case came and kind of dry snitched on Shaq and stuff like that. That side of a character in the man was not something I really got jiggy with. You know what I'm saying? So like, so as the person, the persona, never was a fan. Now, the game is the game, though. So I love the game. So you'll never hear me talking out my neck, talking about what the man could do with a basketball, how he affect the game, whatever the case may be. So I never rooted for him to lose. I'm not that type of fan either. But I wasn't like, oh, Kobe's my favorite player, whatever. But what happened was he starts maturing. He gets to the back half of his career. He won all his championships. You start noticing now it's a little shift now. He's taking players under the wing a little more. He's developing these what I call children in the NBA. You got players coming to him like, how can I get better? What I need to do. I'm starting to see him now. The intelligence, him using that beyond just okay. I'm gonna have my team win. I'm affecting a generation now of players. We had Kyrie Irving. He couldn't even play the game yesterday after hearing what happened. He got players crying and
too, I think.
Huh?
Jason Tatum too, I think, because he was
right. Yeah, those are like Kobe Juniors, the two Kobe Juniors in the league right now.
Jackson Chandler killed me.
Yeah,
when they showed him in that bench, and
he was an LA kid, so he grew up watching Kobe. And
did he play with him or he played against him?
No, he didn't play with him.
He didn't play with him, but he was an LA kid.
He played one season, but Kobe wasn't there. He played with LA.
He did play.
He did.
Yeah, but did they play together?
No, Kobe wasn't there. Kobe wasn't there.
I know he grew up in LA, so he grew up watching him. That was the
he came. I'm sure he came last year when we needed a big man for LeBron, and he was like, "That you gotta trust me. I know, bro."
Yeah. He was an LA kid that just grew up watching him, and he, you know what I'm saying, he was young, fresh out of high school, went to the Bulls. That's why I know, you know what I'm saying, like that. But Kobe was around, you know what I'm saying. Kobe was go to the high schools and stuff and would talk to him. It's funny, like I don't want to cut you off, but when I think about it, like when you think of Kobe, he's like the J. Cole song "Middle Child." You know what I'm saying? He's the middle child between Jordan and like LeBron. And he was that bridge between the two different eras.
Absolutely.
And now this legacy is like his. So those guys that were crying, like you said, Kyrie, they built up a friendship during the Olympics that year. And Kyrie challenged him, like, I'll beat you one-on-one. And Kobe seen that. And the Olympic camaraderie kind of opened him up to being friendly because, you know, these dudes was younger than him now. And you know, he saw himself in some of them, that Mamba mentality. He started to see, like, I like this guy. You know, let me talk to him to, you know, work it a little bit, but I like his potential. And then, you know, so he started pulling, and you see, you know, Trae Young and Devin Booker yesterday.
Both took 24
shots combined.
Points equals 81.
Yeah, like stuff like that. It's just like, you know.
That's crazy.
Paul, remember, I think I texted Paul. I said, and people refuse to believe that there's something greater than us out there. Like, there's no way. No way. They couldn't even call each other and say, yo, you scored.
And said, yo, after 24, I'm stopping.
Right,
like, you know, right, yeah.
Because Trae even hit like a half-court shot, and he was just like, that's for you, Kobe. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't play in that. Like, nobody's 100% from half-court, like, automatic. Like, you got to, you know, make that. It's just one of them things where the generation now is his legacy, and you know what I'm saying. And another thing we was thinking about too was, you know, this year would have been his eligibility for the Hall of Fame, and we're never gonna get that Hall of Fame speech,
man.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and me and Rel was talking about it earlier. Like,
the Mamba out was it.
That was it, yeah. But like, I didn't cry when the news first broke, but if his wife or his oldest daughter does like a speech at the Hall of Fame,
bro, I think that would be fitting, and I think that's what happened. Like, that's gonna be. I cried last night, bro, but I'm not gonna front. I cried this morning, man.
I definitely shed tears yesterday. Like it was a lot.
I don't know.
Last night I was just so numb. I was
Tim Hardaway.
Yeah, whoever else is eligible, they gotta go first.
Yeah, they gotta go first.
But that
they
Kobe section of the Hall of Fame is gonna be like. Arena is gonna be done. Like, that whole arena is gonna be crying. Like, it's gonna be crazy.
You know, Rel hit something that was extremely important, and the way I'm seeing it, right? Because I'm always looking for the message in every situation. And Kobe's life did start a certain way. Yeah, he did come in a little arrogant and this and that. But honestly, if you paid attention to it, his life preached to us. He was showing you how it never matters how you start.
Yes.
Right? We all make mistakes. We're human. You know, we come in thinking that we know it all, right? But I'm telling you, life is the greatest teacher.
Yeah, absolutely.
Life will humble you. You know, the more you keep living, the more that God starts putting things in your path, the more trials and tribulations that you have to become. I was watching that interview with him when Stephen A. was asking him about that situation, and he kept it a buck. He kept it simple. You know, sometimes, you know, you're trying to speak for 10 minutes where the answer is simple. You know, 3 things. God is great. That's all he said. God is great. Yo, how did you? God is great. I can't even tell you. The big man made a way. That's all. That's all.
Definitely. And it's just to piggyback what I was saying before, when you see everything he's done for the game, the way he's that big global icon after Mike. You know, Mike, when David Stern kind of made the NBA visible to the world, Mike was that face.
Yes.
So Mike stops playing. We don't really have anybody that takes up that mantle.
Nah.
Until Kobe, right? Yeah. So now Kobe. So in my opinion, Kobe is responsible for the surgence of people like Manu Ginobili and Dirk, and like those are people that really saw, okay, well, I could do this. I can perform on that stage. I know I'm from a country that never gets fight when it comes to that. Now I can do that. And then you look at how he again what he's doing for the game now, even outside of playing. His daughter, like I love basketball so much that like I feel like if this didn't make you feel away, you can't say you like this game. He gave his life to this game. The game has grown exponentially because he was involved. And that was because even with me not being a fan of him, there's no way I couldn't have spoke on this, because like I feel like I owe him, everybody owes him a crazy debt of gratitude for what he brought to the table and what he was able, like an example he's shown. Like he's shown like, look, after basketball is what you did, is what you love, that's your career, but there's a life after that. There's things where you can touch and affect people. What he's trying to do with the children's books for kids, he's winning Oscars. Yeah. I mean, like, how could you not have 10,000 bouquets of flowers for this man?
He's doing everything they told him he couldn't do.
Right.
Yeah. So you just said, how could you not have like 10,000 bouquets of flowers for him, right? And man, like, you know, my phone was getting flooded, and I had to tell some people like, yo, like this is like, I said, yo, this is a little overwhelming for me. Just like, so like, don't send me anything else. But one thing, man, watching him and LeBron dap each other up, and then watching Bron, like, it's so surreal to me. It's like the Twilight Zone. Watching Bron, after he passes him, he's talking in the locker room, and he goes on for about 6 minutes.
Yeah.
About when he was a kid, what Kobe did for him that most people would not know
with
ever.
The shoes,
when
right?
you took shoes,
I didn't know that.
Shoes a size too small.
I didn't
know. A game.
A size too small, bro.
Yeah,
and wore them in the game, a high school game.
Next day.
All of us probably watched on ESPN because that was one of the first games that they put on ESPN.
Right.
Yeah. I didn't even know that transpired. I didn't know that happened. Because him and Maverick drove to Philly.
Right. We just like, oh, Melo versus LeBron. Melo going to Syracuse. LeBron supposed to be the number one. Man, look, man. That's what I'm saying. Like, people want to bring up, like, I got so fed up. Like, Joel was telling me don't, like, ignore people. Because I got so fed up, man. I said, look. I said, imagine you die, then boom. Everybody want to talk about the one mistake that you made publicly. Like, come on, man. Take all your skeletons and put them in the public eye. Take your life and live in the public eye.
Just open your closet.
And then tell me how many mistakes you want to be forgiven for.
Exactly. Yeah.
So not that I obviously would agree with anything that happened, but the man accepted whatever transpired, and I'm going to leave it at that. Yeah. And he paid his dues. He showed that you will always grow. And I was listening to Marcellus, and even though I don't like Jason Whitlock, I respected what he said today. He wasn't on no foolishness.
Oh, he said something good today?
He said, I don't judge a man by where he's at, where he came from. I judge him where he's at. And Marcellus Wiley said, I judge the distance traveled. Meaning, just because you over here, you don't have to stay over there. You might have to go up, down to get over here to be centered, but I'll judge you by that, by the journey, by the process. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Man, like, everything that was said now needed to be said. I'm glad we had this conversation. You know what I'm saying? Like, much more can be said about it. I mean, everybody that's watching, you know, comment your memories of Kobe. What moment led you to, you know, like or dislike but respect him? You know what I'm saying? Like, the conversation continues. Keep it going. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody shoot your jump shots into the garbage can.
Real quick.
Scream out Kobe.
Real quick. I'll give you, and you're like this, Gene, I'll give you a moment that definitely made me respect him.
Okay.
So I know you remember this vividly. Lakers and Blazers. Top of the key, cross Scotty in the lane, lob to Shaq. Like, that for me, that for me was like,
I was like,
bro,
wait,
Portland was supposed to win that, bro.
No, they weren't.
It was what, a 23-point game or something like that?
Yo,
like they
I was like, what?
Lead. Like,
I was like, what type of floater? Oh, Shaq, God.
Yeah.
I mean, like Gene said it earlier. I mean, we're not going to get that Hall of Fame speech. That Mamba out speech would be the last speech that you know what I'm saying, that he did when they retired his jersey, but that Mamba out, that last game, 60 points out. when Shaq said get 50 and he got 60.
Yeah.
He has the greatest finale. Like, Jeter had one, he got the double, but it was like, you know, it was a double baseball that's, you know, lower scale. Peyton Manning, all them lost their last games, but the greatest finale, like, Kobe has that. Like that 60-point game, he started, and it epitomized his career, his life. Like started out a little slow first quarter,
right. Yeah.
but then you like he got 20, he got
Right.
35,
Like,
he got 4. He going like he's just.
Let me order some more wings. That was me and Buffalo Wild Wings.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's like the most fitting thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? That again, rest in peace to
everybody.
You know, everybody on the helicopters.
And let's not forget before we close out. Obviously, I'm wearing Mamba. I had this for months. I have this and other apparel that my wife brought me when we moved. This is one of the first things that she brought me. And just like if you rock, like you said, if you rock with Kobe, rock with the game of basketball. But to me, more importantly, if you want to see young ladies and maybe even the WNBA progress, Mamba Academy, I believe, is added to that because of the culture that he was instilling in that and having those young ladies. And you know, obviously that could be another conversation with people talking about the quality and the fairness of it.
Right.
I believe, I don't know. Hopefully, if we continue to purchase, it'll go towards those young ladies that was a part of that and help add to that vision and bring other young ladies up as well.
Yeah, good point, man.
Dope. Fellas, Breakfast with Bros.
Word Music Dance. Make sure you subscribe.
Mamba out.
Mamba out.
Kobe.
Man. Guys, you know, it's, I can't believe how fast 20 years went by. I mean, this is crazy. This is absolutely crazy. And, you know, to be standing here at center court with you guys, my teammates behind me, and appreciating all this, you know, the journey that we've been on. You know, we've been through our ups and been through our downs. And I think the most important part is that we all stayed together throughout. You know, I grew up a diehard Laker fan. Die-hard. I mean, I knew everything about every player that's ever played here. So to be drafted and then traded to this organization and to spend 20 years here, I mean, you can't write something better than this. And I'm more proud of the fact that not about the championships, but about the down years, because we didn't run. We didn't run. We played through all that stuff, and we got our championships, and we did it the right way. And all I can do here is just thank you guys. Thank you guys for all the years of support. Thank you guys for all the motivation. Thank you for all the inspiration. And you know, what's funny, the thing that had me cracking up all night long was the fact that I go through 20 years of everybody screaming to pass the ball. Then the last night, they're like, don't pass it. This has been absolutely beautiful, you guys. I can't believe it's come to an end. You guys will always be in my heart. And I sincerely appreciate it. No words can describe how I feel about you guys. And thank you from the bottom of my heart. God, I love you guys. And I love you guys. And to my family, my wife Vanessa, our daughters Natalia and Gianna, you know, thank you guys for all your sacrifice. You know, for all the hours I spent in the gym working and training. And Vanessa, you holding down the family the way that you have. I can't, there's no way that I can thank you enough for that. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you. And what can I say? Mamba out.